G'day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan Metal video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the performance of the TEQ Super Trunks or Super Saiyan Trunks team that transforms into Super Trunks in the Cell Max event. Now Super Trunks is a very interesting unit. In his base form on a Android Cell Saga team, he has a decent chance of being quite strong defensively. He has the guard mechanic, but his starter turn defense is never really insane. He gains a lot of defense on super, like a lot of defense on super, and essentially he tends to be pretty strong when it comes to after super defense. Now of course, as a unit he does pretty good damage all around always. There's not too much in the way of preventing his damage. I think overall he's a really strong damage dealing unit that's very consistent in that regard. And with his double active skills, also quite a strong presence for him in terms of his damage performance. So for me, that's never really something that's in doubt. I always tend to find them to function pretty well in that way. The big thing is obviously his guard mechanic. And obviously also the fact that he essentially doesn't have the greatest starter turn defense. Now that makes Trunks very dupes dependent, so if you have 55% Trunks, your 55% Trunks is going to be very different to a Rainbow Trunks. His transformation will occur immediately after performing 5 or more attacks in battle, or when there's an enemy whose name includes Cell, starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle. Now essentially, Cell Max does not hit all of the Cell requirements. So, if a unit has Cell in their passive, Cell Max does not hit that requirement. Cell Max will not activate any Cell named portions of a character's passive. So that is important to understand when you are assessing him. It's not like he has any added advantage against Cell Max. However, if you used him against First Form Cell, you would then see the benefits. Now obviously the actual Super Trunks, the transform state of Trunks, is pretty good. I think obviously when he's in that state, he has guaranteed guard for 3 turns. He has an additional super attack. He gets a very big DPS spike when he transforms. Not to mention you also have the active skill, which again is super duper helpful. The active skill essentially allows him to proc his defense again and also cause some pretty big damage. So the active skill is a significant component of that. It's also got a delay mechanism as well, which is quite important. Now fortunately for Trunks, Android Cell Saga is one of the teams that has quite a few very good tanking options for Cell Max. So if you look at units like 16, Android 16 is obviously great pick, great choice. You have Int LR Cell, you have plenty of good Int options who can potentially tank for Trunks when it comes to Cell Max. So I think it's important to assess that as well. You've got here Int Future Gohan as well, Strength Future Gohan. Lots of really good units that when it comes to tanking Cell Max and obviously giving Trunks a good platform to work off of, they do. So they give a very good foundational kind of presence for him to really sit in that second slot and do his thing. So for me, he does a good job. Obviously, as a unit, we know his defense after super is kind of his big deal. He handles it more than fine after super. He handles Cell Max pretty well, and he still does some pretty good damage. And you also have his active skills. So I think for me, not that he's a Cell Max destroyer, but Trunks is very much a timings character. Once you get everything going, once you get all the active skills going, once you can get him past that first 2 turns without taking too much damage, you can then really start to see him, he has like a 3-turn period where he just absolutely wrecks whatever boss he's facing. So yeah, overall for me, I think Trunks does a great job. I think he's really solid. And yeah, honestly speaking, I think at the end of the day, he's a very, very good unit that, has a little bit of nuance to him. You have to, I don't want to say know how to use him, but if you build your team in a way that allows him to shine, then he does shine. He's not an all-purpose unit that you're just going to be able to stick into events and he's going to come out and dominate them. But he's incredibly good when you enable him to be incredibly good. But yeah, and there we go. We saw how much damage he'd take on the super, which is not actually too bad. Especially since after super he probably would have taken a lot less and with the active. But that's it for me. Bye.